the more you die, the more you live. It's mind-blowing how this actually works. So now I'm going to have to just go to another chapter quickly here. 1 John chapter 2, God says this through the Apostle John. He says, do not love the world or anything in the world. For if you love the world, the love for the Father is not in you. Then he says, the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. These desires don't come from the Father, they come from the world. And those desires will pass away, but the one who does the will of God will live forever. Let's look at those three quickly over there. The lust of the eyes, what you are seeing. How many families, how many communities have been destroyed by the lust of the eyes? For example, you see someone else's wife, you're like, hey, right? Lust of the eyes. You see someone else's nice shoes, you're like, hey, let me go take those shoes from you. It's the lust of the eyes. See someone else's nice car, someone else's nice lunch, whatever that thing is, you see it, ooh, now you lusting after, you want that thing. Right? The lust of the flesh, what is the lust of the flesh? It's got to do with pleasures. Let me label a few over here. How many families has pornography destroyed? How many minds has pornography destroyed? Gambling. All of these different elements, all of these pleasures, getting drunk, getting high. Because again, my wife actually asked me the question, like, what's like actually wrong with getting drunk? And I shared a couple of things with her. I'll share with you guys what I think is probably the most relevant for this particular group. I said, because when you get drunk, you are now not going to be led by the Spirit of God. You are going to be led by spirits. Because how many of you know, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us over here have gotten drunk before, including myself. How many of you know sometimes you wake up the next morning, you're like, hey, what happened yesterday? You see, it wasn't you. It was definitely not the Holy Spirit of God busy leading you. So what was busy leading you? It's like, how many times you hear a guy that woke up drunk, he's like, hey, but I don't know what the heck I did yesterday. You see, because it wasn't you. Something else was busy leading you. That's why God's against it. Because it wasn't him that was busy leading you. It was something else that was busy pulling you. What is that something else? Okay. So the lust of the flesh, all of these pleasures which cannot satisfy. You know how many people, you know why it's bad? Because so many people sell out their purpose on the altar of pleasure. They want immediate comfort, and therefore they're not willing to do what God actually wants them to do, which, by the way, is the very thing that will actually bring pleasure to their lives. Here's the thing, it's not as if God doesn't want you and I to have pleasure. He wants us to have pleasure within the right context. In fact, the Garden of Eden, the word Eden actually means what? Do you guys know what it means? It means pleasure. That's actually where God originally placed humanity. But then what has happened is because of sin, because of man's rebellion, because of man's evil and wickedness, now we've perverted pleasure. Now we seek pleasure even above and beyond seeking the one true living God. Not realizing that if we would seek Him, we will find Him. And therefore you'll have true pleasure. Can I tell you something? And this might be foreign to you. I find more pleasure out of doing what I'm doing right now, standing in front of you, than I ever felt getting drunk and high in a nightclub before Jesus Christ saved my life. I find more pleasure in doing this than smoking up a spliff or getting high. I find more pleasure in doing this. Because this is exactly how God has created me to ultimately be. God didn't create me to get high off of something that I'm supposed to be dominating in the first place. Did that make sense? Because why? He's the one that gives me peace. So I don't have to try and find peace through other things. He's my peace. And by the way, you know how I got to this point? By running to all the other things that this world tries to offer me to try and get peace. And I realized that none of those things work. None of them. They give you a temporary solution. But then what needs to happen? You need to get it more and more and more and more and more. You're not created to live like that. You're supposed to be running to Christ so you can get more and more and more from the true source. Okay. Let me give you an example of something else that I think will maybe be also worth your while. So on Sunday was our daughter's birthday. She turned 3. Phenomenal time. We went to a place not too even far from here called Drupal. It's a kiddies play area. Now, I probably had more fun than the kids there by that place. I had a wonderful time. I felt like I was in primary school. It was incredible, right? So they have this one thing, it's like a big massive circle like this, and there's a bicycle. And they strap you into this bicycle, and you got to pedal so you can go all the way around. You guys see the picture? Okay? Pedal, 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 pedal. And you got to go, so the bike goes around, so you start driving like this, in a circle. Man, I got into that seat, they plugged me in, I went, next thing, phew, phew, phew. Hey, you get off of there, champ, hey, you pumped, bro. Like the adrenaline is busy pumping, the dopamine receptors are firing off. It was wonderful. Then I went, they strapped me into this other thing, and you climb up these steps, and then you make a jump, maybe from here to where that pole is, to try and catch this thing, but you're in the air, right? Okay, so now obviously it gets you another pump up. So now you get so excited about this thing. Then what happened was, after I did all of these things, I went back to the table where the kids were, and I was sharing with the one lady there. I said to her, you know, these things, I'm paraphrasing, but these things, they're great, but they can't satisfy my soul. Because like once you're done with the one thing, you want to do what? The other thing. And then when you're done with that thing, you want to do what? Another thing. And then when you're done with that one over there, you want to go do another one. So you never find satisfaction for your soul. You have to keep on looking for the next thing. Here's the idea. It's not that you mustn't have these experiences, but you can't get satisfied through those experiences. Your satisfaction can only be satisfied through Christ. There's no other way. And by the way, the same applies for money. The same applies for power. The same applies for status. I mean, like you guys well know, we are in the media space. And I mean, one of the temptations is to be like, okay, well, you know, we got X amount of followers. Now we need to get so many, like at what point is it enough? Are you guys hearing what I'm saying? Like at what point? Like people say like, okay, once I have an X amount of money, then I'll be fine. Okay, you'll be shocked. Once you get that, you'll be like, okay, let me see if I can get some more. Because it's not meant to satisfy you. Now there's nothing wrong with pursuing more. I'm just saying, you need to understand that if you're going to go for it without realizing that Christ is the only one that satisfies, you'll end up selling your soul for the more. Compared to just simply doing what Christ has called you to do. And then lastly, the pride of life. You know, hey, the pride of life is dangerous, champ. You know what's one of the root causes of corruption? The pride of life. You know why people are stealing so many millions of rands, billions of rands from the taxpayers, from the people that pay, and they misuse the funds? You know why? Because they want to buy the car to show people that they've made it. You know what that's called? The pride of life. Jesus says those desires, it comes not from the Father, it comes from the world. But he says the one who does the will of God will live forever. The one who does the will of the Father will live forever.